How are you?
Hello, Guru. I'm fine. Sunny day, and I'm glad to be here.
Yeah, even I'm glad. How's your wife?
Yeah, pretty good.
And how's Joey?
Oh, he is fine.
Oh, good to know. Good to know. Okay, so just to confirm, you and your wife requested a put on shoes program to be implemented at your home. Is that right?
Yeah, that's right. We need help.
Okay, so I am Gulroop and I am your trainer for today for this program.
Perfect.
I'm happy to help you and I'm going to give you the necessary training for this program.
Yes, please.
So what you and your wife shared in the email about your son, he's 3 years old.
That's right.
And he can wear shoes, Velcro shoes and socks independently. Is that right?
Yeah, that is correct.
Okay. And he has the knowledge of wearing the appropriate shoe to the appropriate foot, right?
Yeah, most of the time.
Okay. Well, what I could understand was what we need to work on Joey is to make him understand that wearing shoes has to be before stepping out of the house, right?
Definitely. We need to work on that.
Okay, well, so just to ask you, what do you do currently when Joey does not wear his shoes now?
When he doesn't listen to me, normally he gets away with it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm sure this training is going to help you a lot. So in this training program, you learn the life skill intervention of put on shoes on Joey, and we will be using incidental teaching for this purpose.
Okay.
Do you have any understanding of incidental teaching?
I would prefer that you explain me a little bit more about it.
Okay.
Please.
Well, yeah, sure, I will. So incidental teaching involves the mediator, which is you, setting up the learner's environment naturally.
Okay.
Learner is your son Joey.
Environment is room.
Yeah, so you're going to arrange the home environment in such a manner that Joey gets access to his preferred activity by engaging in the behavior of wearing shoes. So the list that you shared of Joey's preferred activities included playing a soccer ball, football, and getting a car ride to his grandpa's house, friend's
Definitely
house.
loves that.
Yeah, and going on the swings, of course.
Oof, like hours and hours he could be there.
Oh, great. So we will be using these preferred activities as reinforcers for him.
Okay.
Which would motivate him to wear his shoes before getting access to these activities. So for this purpose, at the end of the training, you will be able to learn the skills that are necessary for Joey to put on the shoes before stepping out of his house. And you'll be able to implement and all the strategies that we're going to discuss in this training program today. Are you ready?
Perfect, yeah. Let's do
Okay,
it.
so the first thing that we're going to use in this training for you and your wife to understand for Joey is the first then board. So you can see I have placed all the material on the wall for you to understand in a easy and better manner.
Alright.
So this is called the first then board.
First and board.
Yeah, so on the first side, under the first side, you always want to have the picture of Joey's Velcro shoes.
And shoes.
Yeah, and on the then side, you are going to place the Joey's preferred activities.
Oh.
So you see, I have pictures of Joey's preferred activity, which is a soccer ball, ride to grandpa's house, and the swings to the park.
Alright.
So you always want to put the preferred activity under the den side.
That's why here is empty. Okay.
Yeah, and the second thing that we're going to use is the data collection sheet. This is for you to fill every time you implement the program on Joey, so that we know how many times Joey was successfully able to comply to your instruction.
Okay, how many times?
Yeah, so here on the column under the date, you're going to put the date. you're going to use a plus sign in front of the date when Joey complies to your instruction of wearing shoes.
Right.
And you're going to put a minus sign if he does not comply. There are a few important reminders for you to follow in this. You will have to avoid giving any kind of a preferred activity if he does not comply to your instruction of wearing shoes.
Okay, I understand it.
Okay, and then you would not give verbal praise or you would not give access to any of his preferred activity when he is not complying. Second thing which you need to keep in mind is anytime Joey feels aggressive or frustrated,
That could happen.
yeah, so you at that point you will have to stop the intervention.
All right.
You would want to redirect Joey to some other activity that he prefers doing, maybe doing a puzzle, playing with the blocks, or listening to music, just so he can get away with that stress that he has and then come back when he's ready. Is that right?
Yeah, for sure.
So do you have any questions for me?
Yeah, maybe could you repeat me once again? This was the last part I think that you explained. What should I do if he doesn't want to comply with the shoes, no matter what I tell him?
Okay, so when Joey does not comply to your instruction of wearing shoes, you would again want to refer to the first then board, explaining him verbally to first wear the shoes and then go on the swings or whatever he wants to do. You want to do this till the time he does not successfully complies to your instruction.
Ah,
Yeah.
okay.
Sure.
Okay.
So the next thing that we're going to use in this program is this document which has a step-by-step procedure of how to implement this program
Okay.
at home,
That would
which
be-
is going to help you and your wife and Joey to
Yes.
understand this program better. And it also has certain important reminders and dates which we will discuss in the further training.
Yes, please.
So I will go through these steps and try to model these steps in front of you.
Yeah.
You observe me and then later on we can try and implement the same. And I will be assessing you on these parameters.
Okay, yeah, totally agree.
Okay, so what I do first is make sure that Joey's shoes are kept near to the door. You secondly make sure that you put the first then board near to the door where Joey can see this.
All right.
Yeah, and on the first side, make sure you have this picture of Joey's Velcro shoes.
His shoes.
On the then side, you have to put the picture of the activity that he prefers at the moment.
Sure.
You have to make sure in the living area, you place these balls, the soccer ball and the football, just so he can see these, and it will be a cue for him to get engaged into this activity.
All right.
We are creating natural opportunities
I got
around
you.
him,
Okay.
right? You have to make sure that the living area where Joey is cleared. It does not have any distractions or any kind of a toy or edible which do not involve the wearing of shoes, because we do not want Joey to sit back in the living room and enjoy his activity. We want him to get engaged in the behavior of wearing shoes.
Yeah, definitely.
So considering if you are Joey, you have seen the soccer ball in the living room and you say that you want to go out.
I want to go out and play.
Yeah. Okay, so Joey, do you have your socks on?
Yes, I have.
Okay, so here you make sure that he's wearing his socks. And then, Joey, what do we do before going out? We wear the shoes first and then we can go and play the soccer ball. And then at this point, Joey wears his shoes, and then you make sure that you have the data collection sheet around you. You put the date, you put a plus sign because he's wearing his shoes
Yes,
at this
because
point.
he was- Okay.
Yeah. And then you provide verbal praise. Good job, Joey. Now we can go out. You are a rock star. And then you take Joey, you open the door, and then you go out to the park.
All right.
Right? The next scenario that might happen with Joey is when you want Joey to go out with you, maybe to grandpa's house or for some grocery. So you would tell Joey, let's go for a car ride. So make sure that you put this picture on the then side and repeat the same process again. Considering that if Joey does not comply with your instruction of wearing shoes, you would point to the first then board and explain that first we need to wear shoes, then we go for a ride in the car.
Okay.
So you want to repeat this step until he is able to successfully comply to wearing shoes and then go out.
I understand.
Right? Do you have any questions here?
Yes. First of all, in the first example that you gave me,
Mm-hmm.
I will use the soccer or basketball
Mm-hmm.
to generate a cue for him to
Yeah.
want to go play, and after that, I go to the first and then board. But in the example of the car, for that specific example, I will have to propose him the idea of going to visit grandparents, right?
Yes, you are right.
Oh, I will propose him the idea. Okay.
Because every time it is not Joey who wants to go out, so he will wear the shoes. It can happen that you or your wife want to take him out for grocery shopping, to the dentist, to the doctor. So he should be able to comply to your instruction.
Yeah, I would love that.
Yeah. So, are you ready to perform and rehearse? And so that later on I will assess you on these parameters, and then we can score this together, and then I'll provide you feedback.
Yeah, I feel confident enough to start.
Yeah? Okay. So are you ready?
I'm ready.
Okay.
Okay, I want to know first. Okay.
That's good. The second step. You're doing great.
And the last one. Let's put it here.
Wonderful, Mr. Johore.
Excellent.
Okay. So, I am Joey. I'm wanting to go out, and I tell you, Dad, I want to go out and play football.
Okay, Joy. First, we need shoes. Later, we can go out to play football. Do you have your socks?
Yes, I have my socks on.
Okay. Do you have your shoes?
No.
Alright then. So we first need your shoes. Where are your shoes? Great, Joy. So now, do we have our shoes on?
Yes.
That's my boy. You can go out and play.
Yay. Okay, so how was it, Mr. Hore?
Well, I think I did remember most of the steps.
You
But
did?
I would like to have some feedback from you as well.
Yeah, sure. The first step where you had to place the shoes near to the door, you did that perfectly. You placed the first then board on the wall. You placed the data collection sheet on the wall. You had the picture of Joey on the first side. On the then side, you placed the preferred activity, which is good, and I want you to continue with that. Talking about the living area, you had to make sure that the area was clear, and the soccer ball or the football, all those toys had to be placed around him for him to see those balls and then tell you to go out for play.
And that I forgot.
Yeah. So these balls you could have maybe placed onto the shelf or wherever it was visible to Joey, right? You asked Joey that he has his socks on, which is very good. You were able to explain Joey the first then board. You did that perfectly. What I want you to remember is collecting the data.
Oh yeah.
So you forgot to fill in the date and put a plus sign when he wore his shoes to go out. So this is the step you need to work on in the next trial, and I'm sure that will be very simple and easy for you, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So next step was giving verbal praise to Joey. You did that very well.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and you were then able to take Joey outside once he had his shoes on, which is what we want to give a message to Joey. So till here you were very good. So in your steps out of 14, you kind of missed 3 steps, which is not very bad. It's a good performance.
All right.
So as I have told you, I have given you a little feedback on which areas you need to focus more, and I'm sure you'll be able to do that in the next trial. So do you think you have any questions on any of the steps?
The data collection comes immediately after my son tells me that he already has his shoes on, or comes after I let him go out?
Okay, well, that's a very good question. I would clarify it for you.
Please.
Before you go out and after Joey wears his shoes, you want to put the date and a plus sign here. Because once you go out with Joey after he wears shoes, you might forget to record the data. And you would not be able to track his progress.
Yeah, we'll have
So
time.
this document is a priority document which you need to consider. So within like 3 to 5 seconds of Joey wearing the shoes, you would have to fill this data sheet and then take Joey outside the home.
Okay.
Did that make you feel better?
Makes sense.
Yeah, okay.
Got it.
So are you ready for a next performance?
I'm ready for number 2.
Okay, so well, don't be nervous. I'm sure you'll be great.
Okay.
Very good. Next step.
Let's go with this.
You can refer to the steps if you forget any.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, that would be really helpful.
Yeah. Very nice.
Okay. This is important. I mustn't forget.
That's very good, Mr. Ore.
And I'm missing something. Yeah.
Okay, very well done. So, I'm Joey, and this time I am telling you to, I want to go out. So, Dad, I want to go out to the park on the swings.
Okay, Joy. First, do we have our socks on?
Yes, I have my socks on.
Great. Do we have your shoes?
Okay, no.
Okay, so first the shoes, and then we can go to the park to the swim.
No.
Well, I guess that what we must do is that first we will have to wear our shoes and then we can go to the swim.
Okay, I'll do that.
Great, Joy. So now, do we have our shoes on?
Yes.
That's my boy. You can go out and play.
Yay. Sorry.
I think I did it better this time. I mean, I didn't forget to take data.
Yeah, I saw that and you were really good. And I want you to continue with this, and I'm very sure that you'll be able to implement the program with your wife at home.
Yeah, big practice.
So taking to consideration, you kept the Joey's shoes near to the door. Again, you got that previously correct, this time correct.
Great.
You were able to place all the material on the wall, the first then board, the data check collection sheet. The Joey's shoes were kept on the first side, and then had the picture of Joey's preferred activity, which is great. You placed the balls in the living area.
I did.
That's very good. The living area was clear. It did not had any of Joey's toys or edibles. Joey, you were able to ask Joey about his socks. He had his socks on. So this time Joey did not show compliance, which you had to refer to the step again of explaining the first then board. You did that very, very well. And I want you to continue with that because in the beginning, because Joey has the behavior of showing non-compliance, you might make this a point that you need to refer to this again once he shows non-compliance.
Most likely.
Yeah. So that was very nicely done. This time I want to appreciate that you remember to fill in the data sheet, which is the most important document.
Yeah, I can see now why it is.
Yeah. So this data sheet, once you are able to record the data of 1 week, and then every week you will fill this, and once in a month you will going to total up all the yeses and all the nos, and then you as a mediator and me as a trainer, we'll sit together and we'll evaluate Joey's progress. And if in future there's any requirement to make any changes in the intervention, we shall do that, right? So do you think you have any questions?
Well, I guess that I have completely understood the mechanic of this document, which is very important. Like I said, I now see why it is so important.
Yeah.
I don't have any problems regarding this board. In fact, I think that my wife will get used to it pretty quickly.
I'm glad to know that. So talking about the review dates, I will see you after 2 weeks once you start to implement this program at home with your wife. But don't be panic in any stage. You can contact me via email or you have my phone call, and I will get back to you within 24 hours. If I'm not available on my call through email, I'll get back. And I think you are good to go, but for the safer side, I would record the video of this implementation process for you and your wife to review together, which will help you to implement this program with Joey. So you can watch the video at your own time, right? And then if we see in the data collection sheet when I visit your home, I would be visiting your home after 6 weeks if Joey's progress is good, and then review his progress further if we have to take down some intervention program steps. Then we can move on further once he masters those steps.
Makes sense.
Yeah. Do you think you have any questions?
No, I think you were pretty clear.
Okay, so well, I hope this program is going to help you, and you were really great in your implementation. And I'm quite confident you'll be able to implement this with Joey as well. So thank you very much, Mr. Ore.
Oh, thank
It
you.
was wonderful. Thank you.